These days we see so many videos on red flags in men, and I thought, you know what, why don't we do a video on red flags in friendships? Friendships are one of the most important relationships that you will make in your life. And I do think that you have to be picky with your friends because they are the people that you will be surrounding yourself with most of the time. So let's get into it. Just a disclaimer that these are red flags that are, like, in my opinion, for especially the path that I want to go on. These might not apply to you, and if they don't apply to you, that's fine. Okay, number one. Someone who puts themselves down expecting you to do the same to yourself. I have said this in my other videos before, but I used to have a friend group that was very, very not healthy for my mindset and for their mindsets as well. And we would consistently put ourselves down, and there seemed to be like a expectation of everyone to kind of just do that to themselves. So you wouldn't hear anyone, like, you know, saying good things about themselves. And so I think that's a major red flag. Why are you expecting your friend to be in a negative or bad position or bad mindset about themselves? I think that's very selfish. I think if you have insecurities of your own, you shouldn't be putting them on others and expect others to have a similar mindset to yours. And so I think that's very, very dangerous. Especially I see it a lot on social media as well, that, like, especially with women, they're not allowed to be confident and, like, you know, accept that they're beautiful or smart or talented. Like, if they say those things out loud about themselves, it's like looked down upon, which I think is ridiculous. Like, if you know that you have a skill, you should be happy about it and accept it. And, like, especially when it comes to friends, like, your friends should be the ones actually supporting you and helping you to be better and have a positive mindset and not bring yourself down. So I think it's a major, major red flag. And I speak as someone who had the same mindset in the past, especially just when I was in high school. To be fair, I didn't feel like iffy about people being confident about themselves, but it's definitely something that I did to myself, of like just self-deprecating, and that is also partially because of the people that I just surrounded myself with. And you know, there's also just people who criticize you when you're younger, and you know, that impacts you too. But you know, being surrounded by people who do the same thing to themselves actually impacts you as well. So I think that's a major red flag. Okay, the second one kind of links in with the first one in a way, which is friends who don't stop you from making bad decisions. I've seen so many videos online about like people being like, oh haha, like it's for the plot, and it can be something really dangerous or something that ideally you shouldn't do. And they have friends encouraging that type of behavior. I honestly think that it's a red flag. Like, you can have your fun, but if it's something that will harm you in the long run, I don't see why you would encourage your friends to do things like that. Especially like for me, like I'd like my friends to have self-respect, and if I think that, like, you know, they're doing something that's harming them, I will tell them. I don't think it's a good idea to encourage behavior that will be harmful for your friends. If I have friends that don't try and stop me from bad behavior, I think that's a major red flag, because I would rather be surrounded by people who want me to be better. And I think it's like about, you know, it shows people's intentions. Like, if you want your friend to be better, you have good intentions for your friend. So yeah, I just think that, like, if you don't stop your friends from doing something that can harm them, I think that's a red flag. Okay, so the third one might be a bit interesting, but I think that friends who stay stagnant and don't want to grow is a red flag for me personally, because I want to be surrounded by people who want to be better and do better, and, you know, want to achieve something in life. And whether that be like, you know, helping people, or a job that they want to get, or a lifestyle they want to create for themselves, doesn't matter. Like, you need some sort of ambition. And so I think it's a red flag that if you have friends that are stagnant and they don't want to amount to anything in life, I think it's unhealthy for you and also themselves, obviously. But yeah, I this might be a bit controversial, but I just think that like you want to be surrounded by people who encourage you to do better, and they will encourage themselves to do better. It's just that I feel like people who stay stagnant end up being the most envious and jealous ones. And so that can be very dangerous for you because, you know, they might try to sabotage you, try to put you down, try to bring you down to their level. And I think that that's where the harm comes in. It's not the stagnation itself, if that's what they want to do. It's just the result of them being stagnant and you growing can cause like this disparity, which will cause them to be jealous and envious of you. And like, I do think that it genuinely does happen. So what ends up happening is like they end up not being happy with their lives, and so they take it out on other people. So I think it's really negative. So that's why I think having a friend that's like stagnant in their growth and their achievements and things like that, like, and aren't putting in the effort is the main point I want to say, are red flags. Okay, now the fourth one is a bit interesting. I think that friends who are there with you in your lows but not your highs is a red flag. There are certain friends that I think that will support you through your like lowest periods of life, but then you don't see them celebrating your highest points in life, which I think is a major red flag. Because what do you mean you're happy to be there when I'm upset and I need help, but the moment I'm, you know, doing something well, succeeding in something, you're not there for me to celebrate? I think that's a major red flag, because like, again, it shows a bit of envy and jealousy. And like, you know, as good friends, you should be supporting your friends whenever they achieve something that they've always wanted to achieve. Like, you wouldn't think it at first, but it seriously is, because like they're only happy to be there when you're in your lowest point. That's like such a red flag. So they're not happy to see you. They're not happy to see you happy, which I think is the weird part of it. So yeah, that's why people not being there in your highs, but they're in your lows, I think it's a bit of a red flag. Okay, now the fifth and final one are friends that consistently don't keep their word. I personally find it so frustrating when people say that they're gonna do something and then they don't do it. And I think it's just disrespectful. Just means that like they don't respect you enough to keep their word. And I think that that's a problem. I'm not saying like, oh, like once in a while, like, you know, something happens and they're not able to do something. For example, let's say they said they'll come to your birthday party and then something came up and they couldn't make it. Like, that's fine. But if it's a consistent thing, I think it's a major red flag. It just means that this person does not respect you. It's as simple as that. I've definitely had situations where friends have told me that they were going to do things and they didn't, and it consistently kept happening, and it made me realize that these friends do not respect me or my time or my energy, and I think it's just not worth it. So yeah, I don't want to deal with that type of stuff. I do also think that like when it comes to situations like that, like it's always good to have a conversation about it first, and if you still feel like there hasn't been any change, that's when you slowly drift away from that friendship. So I could probably go on and on about red flags in friendships, but these are some main ones that I've spotted throughout my friendships in my life so far, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey to find really good friends, and I can gratefully say that like the friends I have now, like I am so grateful for. And I think that this change wouldn't have happened if I wasn't hurt in the past by other friends, and understanding the real meaning of friendships, especially female friendships. I think it's so important to have in your life. Yeah, I'm just so grateful. So I hope you guys actually learned something, and you know, take these into consideration when you become friends with people or continue to be friends with people. I think it's so important, because there's that saying that you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So you want to surround yourself with healthy people, and people who will help you grow and become the best version of yourself. Anyways, if you guys want to see more videos, please subscribe and comment down below if you have any other friendship red flags that you want to talk about, because I would love to know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.